Null Confessions 4 Days in County. You see this picture. Yeah, this is exactly what it felt like. Orange jumpsuit. Cold metal bunk. 4 concrete walls. Light coming in from that little window like it's teasing you. And all you really got is your thoughts, your regrets, and the sound of other people yelling down the hallway. Behind me, on that back wall in this image, that's the night everything went left. Flashing blue and red lights. A house full of chaos. People screaming, fighting, running. 2 shots through the window, 1 through the door. Everybody scrambling like roaches when the lights come on. That's the night I ended up in county jail for 4 days. I was 25. On paper, if you look at the charges, it sounds crazy. Battery, assault, aggravated assault, discharge of a weapon, carrying a weapon, narcotics, all that. But if you zoom out and look at my actual life at the time, you'll see how I was even standing in that house. On that night, next to that dude, with that gun on me. So let me roll it back. Part 1, 25 with nowhere to land. At 25, my life didn't have a home base. I had my own apartment for a while. Felt grown. Had my girl with me. We had our own spot, our own space. Then everything hit at once. Me and my girl broke up. I lost my job. And one thing about bills, they don't care about your feelings. Rent still due whether you heard or not. So the apartment went. Relationship shaky. Job gone. No steady place to sleep. From there, I started living like a satellite. Some nights I'd be out in Gwinnett with my boy H, that's my brother. His house used to be the spot. The real trap house. Raids, drama, all that. The house had even been shot up before. Twice. After that, nobody really slept there anymore. You might pass through. You might do business. But laying your head there, that felt like a good way not to wake up. H made a move a lot of people don't think about. He enrolled in school to be an aircraft mechanic at this aviation program out in Gwinnett. He didn't end up finishing. But the play itself was smart. The school paid for him to have a hotel room while he was enrolled. When you're damn near homeless, a paid hotel room is luxury. 2 of our other partners signed up too. I was supposed to be the 3rd one. So for a while, that was my routine. Most nights, I'd be out there in Gwinnett, sleeping on the floor of that hotel room after I got off work. No bed, just blanket, hoodie, corner of carpet. Listening to the AC hum while my boy slept on the bed the school was paying for. If H had someone over, or the room was doing too much, and me and my girl were on good terms, I'd crash at her mom's house with her. If I caught a little money from hustling, I'd grab my own cheap hotel for a night or 2. And when none of that lined up, I slept in my car. I had a Honda Element. Those back seats flip up to the sides, so the whole back becomes one big open space. I kept a blanket, some pillows, and even a little portable heater back there like it was a tiny studio apartment. There was this gas station that had a single-person bathroom. The kind you can lock. That was my bathroom. I'd brush my teeth, shave, wash up in that little sink, getting ready like I was in a regular house. From the outside, it probably just looked like I was always moving, always on the go. But the truth was, I didn't have a real place that was mine. I was just rotating floors, couches, carpets, and the back of that car. And through all that, I'm still trying to keep money coming in. I had 2 part-time jobs, one at Stevie B's, this buffet pizza spot, and another at Zaxby's. $7.25 an hour. 40 hours if I could get them. Nothing fancy, but it kept something in my pocket. On top of that, I was hustling. I was the weed plug. At first, I sold out of my apartment. When I lost the spot, I turned into the mobile bud man. You had the order. I had the car. I'd pull up with the jars, the scale, usually 2 or 3 ounces on me at a time. I'd get better deals buying in bulk from 3 different connects. If one wasn't hitting, I'd spin the block to another. So a normal day for me back then looked like this. Work a shift at Stevie B's. Flip pizzas. Hit the back for a couple plays. Slide them their bag. Slide back to the kitchen like nothing happened. On off days I might be at Zaxby's instead, getting a check, stacking a little bit. Then I'd head back to wherever I was staying that night. Link with the bros. Chill, drink, rap a little. Freestyle. Talk plans we never wrote down. By 25, I actually wasn't trying to be in fights like I used to be. People had started dying over stupid stuff. Stepping on shoes, bumping somebody's shoulder. Petty arguments turning into funerals. I wasn't big on clubs or random parties. I mostly stuck to my circle, my routines, my money. And that version of me, the one juggling couches, car sleeps, jobs, and plays, is who walked into the community trap house on the night everything went left. Part 2, the community trap house. Everybody in the city has one of these. Not a house party house, but a party house. The spot that's always active. Music, smoke, gambling, posting, arguing, laughing, food cooking, people making plays, people laying low. That's where I was. Not some random place. This was a regular. On this night, it wasn't even crowded. Maybe 8 or 9 people. Just the usual faces. The people who had business there. This is where I see you walk in. Me and you went to school together? Mixed dude. Fresh clothes. Long hair, light skin. Always had that energy like he thought he was better than people. But I never really took it personal. I thought we were cool. I'm like, yo, you, what's good? I step up to dap him. He gives me straight, cold shoulder. Won't even look me in my eyes. Right there, I know the vibe is off. Something's wrong. I just don't know what yet. Next thing I notice, he's got his gun out. NC in that house. We usually didn't do that. Not in the middle of business. People got money out, product out, and you waving a gun around. That makes everybody nervous. So not only is he acting weird, now he got the strap out like somebody owes him life. He starts talking about how he needs a front, a flex, some credit. Basically, he doesn't have the money, but he wants the product. He had already tried to get it from other people in the house, and they all told him no. Now he's pressing me like I'm his last option. He's like, man, let me get that. I'll hit you back. And I'm like, bro, nobody in this house is flexing you. I'm definitely not flexing you. Your face card is messed up. That's just street talk for. You don't pay people back. Your name not good on credit out here. We go back and forth. He's getting more heated. I'm getting more blunt. At one point, I say something like, why you acting like you? I'm not sleeping with you. Why would I front you like you're my girl? It was disrespectful. I know that. But at that time, I didn't really care about anybody's feelings, not even mine. All I saw was, you got your money messed up. You trying to fix that by putting pressure on me. I'm not going. He gets even more amped. And then I see him do the move I was expecting. He reaches for his gun like he's going to rob me. The rest of the house, they're worried about something else completely. The money? The narcotics. Not just weed, the hard stuff. Everything on the table that would bring real charges if the cops walk in. So while me and him start to scuffle, everybody else is already thinking, how do we get this product and cash out of here right now? He goes for his gun. I stop his arm. We start fighting. It's not clean. It's messy. Hands, grabbing, slamming into stuff. Somebody tries to break it up. Another body jumps in. In the middle of all that, 2 gunshots. One shot goes through the window. Glass explodes. The other shot goes through the front door. Neighbors hear it. Somebody calls the police. Maybe multiple people do. Now we're fighting with glass on us. People yelling. Everybody grabbing money and product. Shoving things into bags. Running stuff out the back. And my brain switches from fight mode to survival mode. Part 3, running, tossing, and the chase. At this point, I already know I'm dirty. I've got weed on me. I've been moving product. There are narcotics in that spot that I'm connected to by association. Even if I'm not the one cooking it. I know how this looks from the outside. Gunshots, trap house, weed, narcotics, young black dude. I make a decision. I run. I get to my car, throw it in reverse, and I'm gone. I pull off down the road. In my head, I'm thinking, I need distance between me and that house, and I need everything illegal off me before they get to me. I'm driving down the main road. Call it Rex Road if you know the area. And I hit a right turn. Driver's window is down. Mind racing. Heart punching my chest. Crucial detail. I still have my gun on me. It's a clean gun, registered to me. And I still have narcotics in the car. Not just weed. If they catch me with all that, plus whatever story they're going to tell about that house, it's over. So mid-turn, I lean out the window, and I sling the gun as far as I can, into some bushes across the road. While I'm peeling off, tires screech, engine revs, gun gone. Now it's just me, the car, and whatever else I can get rid of. Somewhere down the road, I see a police car coming the opposite way. We lock eyes, even through glass. You know when someone recognizes you. Clearly, they had a description of my car, because as soon as we pass each other, he hooks a U-turn so fast you can feel the energy shift. Now I'm in a full chase. This isn't a little maybe he's following me. This is lights, siren, everything. I'm in a 3.5 Nissan Altima stick shift, which for my life at the time was basically a race car. I drop it down to 4th, the RPMs jump. Hit 5th, the car is screaming. Then into 6th, speedometer climbing. 80, 90, 100, 120. I'm not even thinking about the road like a normal person. I'm thinking about distance and time. Distance between me and him. Time to get rid of what's left on me. So while I'm flying down the road, I'm tossing things out the window. Baggies, narcotics, anything that could tie me to that house. I'm moving so fast and panicked that at one point I even tossed some cash out with it by mistake, because the money was still in the same jar I kept the work in. All I'm thinking is, if I do get caught, I can't get caught with this on me. At a certain point, I realize I've put some real distance between me and that cop. He's back there, but not on my bumper anymore. I make another decision. I pull over. I throw the car in park, take the keys out, toss them out onto the side, and put both hands out of the open window, where they can see them. I start yelling, "Don't shoot me. Do not shoot me." I know how this goes sometimes. They catch a suspect after a chase. They're amped, adrenaline pumping. I wanted zero excuses. Hands visible, keys out, door open. The car is dead in the water, and I'm announcing with my whole chest, I'm not a threat. That's how I went from high-speed chase to face on the ground, gun to my head, cuffs on my wrists. Part 4, on the ground and the charges. As soon as they pull up, they're on me. Get out the car. On the ground. Don't move. I'm slammed down. Knee in my back. Gun at my head. Gravel under my cheek. They're yelling, "Why did you run? Where did you come from? What did you throw out the window? You could have killed somebody." It's the usual speech they always hit you with. The moral part after they've already decided who you are. Meanwhile, in my head, I'm not even focused on all that. I'm focused on one thing. Please don't find that gun. Because the weed, they already had that. They found some in the car. I knew that was cooked. But the gun, registered to me. My name on the paperwork. Combine that with shots fired, a trap house, my priors, and whatever story they wanted to build. They'd bury me. I asked the cop straight up, "What am I getting charged with?" He rattles it off like a grocery list. Battery, simple battery, assault, aggravated assault, discharge of a weapon, carrying a weapon, possession of narcotics, possession with intent. All that. Some of those weren't even really my charges in spirit. I wasn't the only one in that house, and I wasn't the one who fired that gun. But when you're the one they caught, you become the whole story. My brain starts doing math. I know bonds. I know how this works. With those felonies, I'm probably looking at 50, 60,000 in bond, 10% to walk, 5 or 6 grand. I didn't have 5 or 6 grand laying around. I had some money, some checks pending, some product I could flip through other people, but not that kind of easy money. If the felonies stick, I'm staying. If they don't, I might have a shot. They take me in. I'm not some infamous name when I hit the station. No, oh, it's you again. I'm just another dude they caught doing something that looks bad. But now I'm officially in the system. For this night. And the next part is the part nobody glamorizes. Intake. Part 5, glass in my foot and walking into Clayco, as they're pulling me out of the car at the jail. I'm limping. At first, I think it's just from the chase and the slam. Adrenaline wearing off. Then I feel it sharper. Like something's inside my shoe. We stop under a light. I say, "Hold up. My foot hurts." I pull my shoe off, and a big piece of glass falls out. My foot is bleeding. Blood, glass, jail driveway. Turns out when that gunshot went through the window back at the house, glass had sprayed everywhere. We were fighting in it. Some of it got into my shoe, and I had been running and driving with it lodged in my foot the whole time. Cop looks down like, "Lower, man. They have to get me medical attention first." Wrapped up, cleaned out, patched just enough to survive. While all this is happening, a big white bus pulls up. This bus is bringing dudes from prison back to county. Not people waiting to go to prison. People who already did time up the road. Now they're coming back down. For trials, transfers, or to finish out short sentences. Murderers, rapists, big-time dealers, gang members, all walks of life. They're filing off that bus in chains. While I'm standing there barefoot with bandaged feet, realizing I'm about to be thrown into the same system that created them. After medical, I hit intake. Intake smells like bleach and piss. It feels like a wet mop and old sweat. They sit you down, take your info, fingerprints, mugshot, generic questions. Then they tell you to strip, clothes off, turn, cough. You know the drill. They hand you the uniform, orange jumpsuit, white socks, orange slides. And that moment it hits you. You're not James or whoever anymore. You're just another body in orange. They assign me to Pot L in Clayton County. It's set up with 2-man cells. But overcrowding means sometimes they're cramming 3 or 4 people into spaces meant for 2. They give me a blanket, a thin mattress pad, a bedspread, a cup, and a single spork. That's your whole starter kit for survival. Then comes the walk to the pod. You hear it before you see it? Yelling, bangs, people calling out to each other. That echo of metal on metal, voices bouncing off concrete. 4 of us are coming in at the same time. New faces walking into the fishbowl. They pop the door, and just like that, you're inside. Part 6, my cellie, the Fendi tattoo, and jail politics. They assign me a cell. I step in and meet my cellmate. This young dude, face and neck tatted up. And the thing that stands out most is this Fendi-looking logo on his throat. 2 F's mirrored, 1 flipped, linked together. He's younger than me. I'm 25. He's maybe 20. But he's already done years in prison. And he's not coming from the street. He's coming from the chain gang. He's part of that bus that just pulled up. We start talking. Because I'm the type that if you're my cellmate, we're either going to be cool, or we're going to fight in separate. I can't sit in a room with someone I don't trust or understand. So I ask him where he's from. We start connecting dots. Turns out we went to the same high school. He knows some of the same little homies I used to sell weed to. He even knows some of the same girls I was messing with on the side. We're sitting there, in this tiny cell in Clayton County, swapping stories about wing spots, old house parties, clubs he used to go to when he was out. It's wild how small the world feels. When you're stuck in a box with no clock, he becomes cool with me fast. We end up talking most of that first night, barely even sleeping. Next day, I realize just how deep it goes. We go out into the pod for breakfast. Now, I don't drink coffee like that, not gel coffee. Some white dude comes up to me and says, if you don't want your coffee, let me get it. I'm like, yeah, if I don't want it, I'll let you know. Cool. That's a conversation, not a contract. Later, when I finally get my tray, this same guy walks up and just tries to take my coffee off my tray. Like I'm soft, like I'm extra food he can just grab. That switch flipped instantly. I stand up and check him. Back up. You're not taking nothing off my tray. If you want it, you can ask. You're not reaching over my plate like I'm a kid. He gets bold, drops a little tone like he's used to punking people in here. What I don't know at that moment is that my cellie is standing behind me, and behind him, about 6 bloods from the same bus, all of them sitting with their lunches, feet up on the table, just watching. I didn't come in here banging. I came in here as me, a man, no set, no color politics. So I'm standing up to this white dude solo, or so I think, telling him straight, I would rather die before I let anybody take something from me in here. If you want this coffee that bad, we can go to the showers and handle it. But you're not just taking nothing off my tray. He looks at me, then glances over my shoulder. His eyes get big, because behind me is my cellie, and behind him is the whole line of bloods he runs with, from the chain gang, all of them watching like, let's see what you do. White dude recalculates his whole life, decides the coffee isn't worth it, he backs off, walks away. I turn around and realize, who was behind me? Ready to ride? In that moment, I understood something about jail politics. Race matters, gang matters, but respect matters the most. I didn't ask them for backup. I just handled my business as a man. They saw that and decided I was worth standing behind. And the craziest part, on the streets, I was more cool with GDs. In here, it's bloods that end up watching my back, because I got pressed by a white dude while I was by myself. That little incident told me 2 things. 1, I'm not going out like nobody's victim. 2, even in a place like this, there's still code. Part 7, numb, focused, and watching the hustle inside. Emotionally, I wasn't scared. I wasn't crying in the bunk. I wasn't breaking down. I was numb. When I have a goal in front of me, I shut my emotions off and lock onto the mission. My mission in there was simple. What are my charges really going to be? What's my bond? How do I get out? Everything else was background noise. I didn't eat much, partly because jail food is trash, partly because I've got acid reflux and a sensitive stomach. Almost everything on those trays had my chest burning. So now I'm cold, hungry, and my stomach is fighting me. Nights were the worst. It was winter. The air in those pods can be freezing. Concrete doesn't hold warmth. Blankets are thin. Everybody's tucked up trying not to shiver. During the days though, I was watching how things really work behind those walls. You'd think the main thing that would stick with me was the violence. Yeah, I saw fights. Saw a dude get stabbed. Saw the COs beat somebody down so bad they dragged him to the hole afterward. But honestly, I'd seen fighting and cops overreacting before. What impressed me most was the enterprise. These dudes had phones in there, weapons stashed, Word of drones dropping things in some places. Food being cooked, like real food. I remember one time they had fajitas going. Money moving around like the streets never stopped. Some of these guys had PlayStations, Xboxes, big screens. I still don't fully know how all of it got in there. But sitting there, I realized something. Some people don't just survive in jail. They live in it like it's a whole other city. That scared me more than the violence. Not because I was afraid of them, but because I saw how easy it would be to just become a permanent part of that world. 4 days was more than enough for me to say, yeah, I don't want this to be my normal. Part 8, hustling from inside to get out. While all this is going on, I stay locked in on one thing. Get out. I'm making phone calls every chance I get. To my mom, to my girl, trying to line up money and a bondsman. I had 2 checks waiting for me on the outside. One from Stevie B's. One from Zaxby's. Around $600 each. Minimum wage money. But it was something. I tell my girl, look, give all my work to my cousin. He already said he'll buy it from me. Sell everything. Take that cash. Get my checks. We'll use all of it to get me out. My girl and my cousin handle the money side. My mom handles the bond side. They find a bondsman. My girl pulls all the funds together. My mom meets her there. They combine what I've got in checks, plus what I've got in product value, plus whatever they can pull together from their side. Eventually, after 4 days, the bond is posted. I'm approved to go home. Part 9, the words that stuck and walking out. Before I walk out, I start giving my stuff away. Blanket, bedspread, bar of soap, toothpaste, cup, spork. We're in the dead of winter. It's cold, and a lot of these dudes don't have people sending them money. They don't have commissary. They don't have family they can call. I'm leaving. They're not. So in my mind, they can have anything I'm not walking out in. I'm even ready to give up my socks if somebody needed them. CO stops me. Nah, we need that bedspread back. You can't give that away. I'm looking at this dude like, he's sleeping on the floor. He's using 2 bedspreads just to not freeze. Y'all really can't let him keep an extra. They made me go get the bedspread back. Clayton County for you. But the thing that sticks with me the most is what my young Sully said before I left. He looks at me and says, I blood. I don't want to see you back in here. For real. You a good dude? You got a daughter. Be there for her. My people weren't there for me. That's how I ended up like this. And that hit different. Because underneath all the blood that and the tattoos, he was just a kid who never had anyone protect him. So he became his own protection. And that path led him to that bus, to that pod, to that cell. I looked at him and realized, I'm only a few decisions away from being him in 10 years. That stuck. When they finally call my name and tell me to roll up, I change back into my regular clothes. They walk me through the doors. Each one buzzes, opens, closes behind me. Then I step outside. Even though it was cold, the air felt different. It felt bigger, freer. My body felt weak from not eating right. My stomach was torn up from stress and acid. My foot still ached from that glass. But I was out. First people I talk to are my mom and my girl. They feed me real food, sit me down, tell me they're glad I'm alive. My girl's mom tells me straight up, don't go back to that house. That trap. Leave it alone. And for the first time, I actually listened. I still slid through there a handful of times after that. 10, 15 times maybe. But not like before. No more sleeping there. No more treating it like a hangout spot. No more posting, just to be posting. And when my boy H eventually left and moved out of state, that whole chapter closed for me. After that, I never really went back like that. Not to live, not to vibe, not to belong. Part 10, the case outcome, and why running still saved me. In court, things played out way differently than what the cops tried to say. Remember? They never found the gun. They saw me throw something out the window, but they couldn't find it. They had weed. They had me running. They had a trap house with shots fired. But the story they tried to tell didn't line up. If I was running from them to avoid arrest, why did I eventually pull over, turn the car off, throw the keys out, open the door, and put both hands out the window yelling, don't shoot me? It didn't fit the picture of some wild gunman fleeing a crime scene, trying to ambush the police. In court, I told them my side. I said I got shot at. I ran because I was trying not to die. I was trying to get somewhere safe and figure out what to do. Was it the whole truth? Not exactly. But it wasn't a complete lie either. I was being shot at, and I did run because of it. The judge looked at the story the cops gave, looked at mine, looked at the lack of gun evidence, and basically said, this doesn't fully add up. In the end, they hit me with misdemeanors. Weed charge. Reckless conduct for the chaos and disturbance with the gunshots. No gun charge. No felony stick. No aggravated assault. If they had found that gun, with my name on it, in connection with that scene, whole different story. Running wasn't smart overall. High-speed chases never are. But tossing that gun changed everything. I walked away with scars, charges, stories, and one more strike on my record. But I also walked away free. Part 11, the real message. When I picture myself in that orange jumpsuit, sitting on that bunk with my hands locked together, head down, fighting heartburn and cold air and uncertainty, the word that comes to mind is tired. Not just physically, soul tired. Tired of floating. Tired of sleeping in cars and on carpets. Tired of losing places I called home. Tired of pretending I had it all figured out, when I barely knew who I wanted to be. I was searching for an answer I didn't have yet, and that search kept leading me back to the wrong rooms, with the wrong people, at the wrong time. Here's the real message I want somebody hearing this to understand. You can be doing your best, with the cards you got, working jobs, hustling, trying to stay afloat, and still be one person, and one night away, from your whole life flipping. That dude I thought was cool, that I went to school with, that I thought was my bro, he walked in that house with a gun and bad energy. And everything after that spiraled around him. The trap was already a risky place. The house already had history. We were already towing the line. But he was the catalyst that night. You can plan for a good situation. You can feel like everything is lined up. But all it takes is one person with their own demons to drag you into a moment you can't take back. So my advice, watch your surroundings. Watch the company you keep. Watch who you call bro. Because the streets don't care how good your heart is. They only care who was standing next to who. When everything went left, I survived some wild things. 4 days in county is nothing compared to what some people go through. But it was enough for me. Enough to see how close I was to living the rest of my life in places like that pod. Enough to see younger versions of myself, already stamped by the system. Enough to decide that whatever I do next, I can't keep replaying the same story. This has been Null Confessions. 4 days in county. If you're living a version of this right now, bouncing between couches, hustling, thinking you're just one good lick away from being straight, understand this, you're also one bad night, and one wrong person, away from a bunk, an orange jumpsuit, and a future you don't want. Learn from my chapter, so you don't have to write your own the same way.